today the world saw an attack calculated, premeditated by Iran on the state of Israel. The United States is sworn to defend the state of Israel against attacks like this. We did participate with our naval forces to help coordinate and respond. I just got off the phone with the ambassador to the United States from Israel, and he indicated to me that approximately 200 ballistic missiles were fired. The previous attack in last April included missiles and drones. The 200 ballistic missiles are more difficult targets to engage, but it appears that only one person was wounded, and also that several facilities were hit, but none were destroyed. The Israeli government and the United States is talking now about a response, and also, I hope, calculating the response so it does not result in a continuous response or escalation. So that's very critical. The posture that the United States is maintaining in the region is to prevent escalation, and to date we have done so. This is another challenge to that escalation policy. The United States, I think, will consider in discussions not just with Israel but with the whole Middle East community possible sanctions against Iran. This is unprecedented attacks, except for last April, directly from Iran on the state of Israel. And we will do all our best to protect the citizens of Israel from attack. The issue in the north, which is related, is the operation of Hezbollah against the state of Israel. Israel has taken very limited steps, crossing the border no more than about a mile, to eliminate positions that could be used for an attack on Israel, much as Hamas used their positions from the Gaza area to attack Israel. These are preemptive steps, they're appropriate steps, and again, we support their efforts to do that. The other thing we have to start thinking about, and is seriously, it's as referred to topically as the day after. We can't continue to think just about escalation. We have to think about when do we get to a point of stability where we can start aiding and assisting in a material way the reconstruction of Gaza, and also supporting the Palestinians in the West Bank. And I made that point very clear to the ambassador, and he also responded that the process is beginning now to think about how we not only defeat these terrorist groups, but create a situation where we can support and develop two secure and safe, viable states in the Middle East. And again, we have to be very conscious of the suffering, not just of the Israeli people, but of the Palestinian people, who have suffered greatly and grievously in the West Bank, and also particularly in Gaza. So we have very many challenges ahead, and let me stop there and take your question.
Senator, what was the Navy's role today?
We have destroyers that are capable of identifying targets and coordinating with Israeli defense forces so that they get early warning, they get the trajectories. They're literally able to aim their weapon systems at these incoming targets. I do not know if we engage any targets, but what we've done to aid not just Israel, but the whole area, is create an integrated system of sensors. Central Command, led by General Kurilla, controls all of this, but essentially we're giving them vital information for their defense, without which they couldn't effectively target these missiles.
What is your comfort level with the U.S. involvement in this conflict? Is it just what's happening now? Do you think the U.S. should do more, whether it's send more military aid, more equipment? Should the U.S. shoot down missiles? What are you comfortable with?
In April, the United States participated in not only advising Israel, but also knocking down weapon systems. And as a result, 1,000 drones and some missiles were fired. None really hit a critical aspect of Israel. And that was a testament to the cooperation, the coordination, the sophistication of our systems and the Israeli systems. We have always taken a strong position to defend the state of Israel, particularly against such overt attacks as missile attacks against their civilian population as well as their military population. We will continue to do that. As we continue to work with the Israeli government and other governments in the region to end the fighting and to start, as the ambassador indicated, a day after scenario of how do we create stable, peaceful states within that region.
What is the concern about this escalating, as you mentioned, and given what happened today, or do you think the fact that they didn't really do any damage, and I mean, does Iran really pose much of a threat, given that they can't get their missiles through? And again, what is your concern that Israel now takes further steps against Iran and this gets worse?
I think again, this is unfortunately one of those tit for tat situations. This attack by Iran was prompted primarily by the death of Nasrallah, the head of Hezbollah. Now Israel, I think, feels, since their territory has been literally hit and they've suffered some damage, although I believe to be minimal, that they too have to respond. And the question, I think, is a response that is proportional and does not generate an all-out, unconstrained exchange of weapons and attacks by both sides, by all sides. And Iran is a malign force in the region, no doubt about it. They support the Houthis, they supply the Houthis, and the Houthis have been attacking international shipping. They've been attacking Israel. They fired a weapon system into Israel just a few days ago. Iran also has surrogates and proxies all through Syria, which they could mobilize to attack not only Israel, but American forces in Syria. And then Hezbollah has been a long-time ally of Israel. They're in some disarray at the moment, but I would assume they're trying to reorganize as quickly as possible. And I think one of the opportunities which the ambassador mentioned is this might give both the United States and Israel and the international community the ability to work directly with the governor of Lebanon. The governor of Lebanon has been essentially paralyzed and really displaced by Hezbollah. And if Hezbollah is now in a situation of confusion, decline, organizational chaos, it might be an opportunity for the world community to lift up the Lebanese government and allow a civil authority with the best interests of the people of Lebanon to take power, and one that we could work with more reliably than Hezbollah.
When talking about the U.S.'s response, you mentioned the possible sanctions. Could you elaborate on that at all?
No, we have tried to apply, and to a significant degree we have significant sanctions on Iran for its antagonistic and violent conduct in the region against the United States too. And this is another episode where they've taken a dramatic attack against an ally with multiple ballistic missiles, and we simply can't sit by. But I think the best approach to the United States is the approach of sanctions, both on individuals and also on institutions. And again, I think that's something that will probably be considered seriously.
Is there any situation where you see U.S. ground troops going into that region?
I don't think there's any situation that I can conceive of additional U.S. forces going into the region. We do have U.S. forces in Syria. They are at critical locations, and we are doing our utmost to protect them from any type of hostile action. But no, I think our best contribution is our command and control systems that help warn Israel our forces at sea that can help interdict missiles headed towards international shipping, and our ability to impose significant, we hope, economic pain on Iran. That's a much more effective use of our forces.
Should the U.S. be telling Israel to show some restraint in its response to not escalate the situation?
I think our message has been constantly to be thoughtful, careful, and deliberate, and you don't want to provoke another response, because then it's a downward spiral into a chaotic situation. After the attack in April, Israel did respond, but they did so in a very calculated and very sophisticated way. It sent the message, but it wasn't so broad-based and provocative that it created another response in return. Anyone else?
On a different subject, the port strike.
Yes.
What's your level of concern there, and how it could hurt American consumers, and are you expecting prices to go up in a ripple effect here?
Well, the question of the port strike is duration. What I believe is at stake here is the working men and women are sensing that jobs could be completely eliminated by automation. The similar situation occurred previously with, I think United Postal Service and other companies that are incorporating technology, which is good, but you can't do it at the expense of working people who have spent 20 or 30 years of their life and are looking for that next 10 years so they can retire comfortably. I hope that both sides sense that, as previous walkouts ended rather rapidly, and so that we get back to work and get back to moving supplies. So I'm hoping the inflationary effect is not significant.
Do you feel like the administration should do any more to step in and try to work out a solution?
I think they're there constantly with advisors and with expertise and with encouragement to both sides to be reasonable and to do your best. Again, we saw strikes, I believe, in the auto industry, which led to a short duration, but also some significant and I think beneficial aspects for both sides. You know, automation is increasing, but jobs are not being eliminated willy-nilly and leaving people, frankly, without any subsistence, and also communities without a lot of working people, which helps a great deal.
One more question. With the debate tonight and the upcoming election, how do you think that today's attack will sway voters? I'm sure they'll talk about it a lot tonight. But
I think they will talk about it tonight, but I think, again, every American is concerned. And to date, the Biden administration, the Harris administration, has been able to support our ally, Israel, has been able, I think, to restrain them from actions which might escalate beyond anyone's hope or expectation. And I think also, too, they've been quite committed to the humanitarian needs of the Palestinian people, which are significant. We can't forget them. They have tried many different approaches of getting supplies in, of working to open up crossings, to be very clear to all of the regional people, we have to help the Palestinian people. And that combination of helping Israel defend itself and also making sure that people have the means to survive is absolutely critical, and we can't give up one for the other.